Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Please stand up for our prayer. Students, may we do prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Okay, class, please be seated.
Thank you,
So, how
ma'am.
are you today?
We're good, ma'am.
Okay, nice. Okay, it's very good to know, that you are okay and fine for today's discussion. So, may I first check your attendance? Any absent for today?
None, ma'am.
Okay, if there's none, Miss Maylin Filipino, can you lead the angel clap because you truly deserve because you are all present for today. So, Miss Maylin, yes, to demonstrate the
So,
angel clap.
Here's the angel clock. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
5, 6, 7, go!
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, thank you everyone for your participation. So now, let me introduce to you my classroom rules. First is no cell phone during my class, activities, and quizzes. So if you're using cell phone, kailangan ko din siya naka-silent if na emergency para kuan ka. Okay? So second one is no erasure during my quizzes. Because kanang gumanahan o kanang hugo without papel. So yeah. So the third one is be participative. Whenever I call your name, kindly stand, and whenever you raise your hand, pag gusto mo participate, please raise your right hand. So, let's proceed. So, our motivation for today is you have to compare the two pictures in the screen. So, Mr. Manuelito, please state at least two words that shows their differences.
For me, ma'am, there are differences is the colors,
Yeah.
and then the gender,
Yes.
and then the skin.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Manuelito. Can we give Mr. Manuelito ito? Hand clap. Go! Okay, so, napa-enjoy na kita lain? Similarities. Yes, Ms. Cadenas? There are similarities? Background, yes, correct.
The guitar,
Yes, Mr. Manuelito, correct. The guitar, yes, Ms. Alina.
Their similarity between the girl and the boy, their ability to play guitar.
Okay, very good. So, you already know, how to differentiate and compare their similarities. So now, here are the objectives for this lesson. So first, identify the compare, contrast, demonstrate ways on comparing and contrasting, and third, classify its differences and similarities. So our topic obviously is about comparison and contrast. So, kindly read Miss Apa.
Comparing things is examining them for their similarities, whereas contrasting them is looking for their differences.
So, you have to remember always that when comparing, ang ibig sabihin ng comparing is ang kanilang pagkakatulad. Then, ang contrasting is ang kanilang pagkakaiba. So, always remember that ha, kaya basta pahimuon mo og ang isay, compare, contrast, bulky, nga, diba? So, you already know what is compare and contrast mean. So, dali lang ang masuwat. So, what are the purposes of contrasting and comparing? So, first, it helps you to better comprehend what you read. Of course, when you read, example, a novel, you will have to compare and contrast about the events of the story or the characters, diba? So, mga na siya, pwede siya. And exercise your higher level thinking skills. Next, it is a skill used in all content areas, which is science, social studies, unified arts. So, pwede na siya magamit po sa science, social studies, and unified arts. It also helps in making judgments. So, diri ang abtik ang kanan. Making judgments about the similarities and differences between items or people. Diba, mas maadyo mo si Jack, ay nga nang buutan si Joy, nga nang naman siya gabi, hindi man siya buutan. O diba, mag-compare. Kato na way, matawag man siya na compare and contrast, diba? So, let's proceed to the two ways to compare and contrast. So, naay duha ka ways kung saan mag-compare and contrast. For example, naman na mahimuon mo in a paragraph way or in a thesis way. So, first is the alternating pattern or point-by-point manner. So, it is similarities and differences are given on every aspect or feature possessed by the items being compared and contrast. So, here's the example. In the introduction, manidyo timaan kung gamiton ninyo ang alternating pattern or point-by-point manner. In the introduction, you state your thesis. Unsa ang imong buot ipasabot sa thesis, sa imong paragraph. Pinakauna na. Then you discuss both your subjects together for each point of comparison and contrast. In the conclusion, you restate the thesis and shortly summarize your essay. So for example here, boxers versus underwear. So the first sentence here is, kanang nag-describe ka sa iyong thesis. Then next is, if you have to compare and contrast two objects, if first nimo, kabalik wearing boxers. For example, this example. When wearing boxers underpants, the boxers bunch up in different places, forming little hills out of the pants. So, kibalik i-compare na nimo diri pa lamang na sentences, diri taman sa smooth. Makita nato na gina-compare. This shows their similarities. And sa second, dito na po na sa ikaduha na po din mo na kuan or third sentences nimo, pwede na po din mo dito i-contrast kung sa ilang differences between sa boxer o kaning underwear. And sa last sentence, pwede na ka dito mag-summarize kung sa mga advantages and disadvantages of wearing underwear and boxers. So next is the opposing pattern or block organization. It is a summary of all information about one item is given in the first paragraph and of the other item in the second paragraph. So, sa opposing pattern or block organization, sa imong paragraph, first paragraph, it only tackles about the first item. Ijang ka na ang advantages o disadvantages niya, dito na nakatackle sa first paragraph. And sa second paragraph, dito na po ginatackle ang isa ka item, which is kung dito ang boxer, ang pinakalas ng mga gamiton, boxer, pwede po mo dito ibutang ang ilang differences o similarities. And according to this pattern, you will be required to separate the body of your compare and contrast essay in two parts. So, sa alternate pattern, ginatibo ra dito, di ba? Itibo ra sa isa ka paragraph. Sa opposing pattern or block organization, ginalaki each paragraph ang bawat item. So, gets everyone? So, naadiri ang example. Kita ba nato? No? So, here are the discourse markers for comparing things. Naadiri na similarly, similar to, the same as, parallel to, for, alike, both, the same, analogous to, like. So, mauna sa ang gamiton whenever you compare things. Okay? So, next is for contrasting things. Kung imo na kung i-differentiate ang usa ka butang. Conversely, different from, not the same, opposite to, against, similar, but, in contrast to, contrary to unlike, and unlike. So, that is the discourse markers when when comparing and contrasting things. So here are also an example of when you compare and contrast. Kay bali kung ato pa, di na siya magkinahanglan gamit o paragraph or even mag-construct pa ka mga sentence nga na. So this is the easiest way rather, to compare and contrast. The usage of Venn diagram. Yes, that is the Venn diagram. Nag-compare and contrast ang Peppers, Amante, pizza na si Pizza Carol. So natin ha, downtown Chapel Hill, ang ilang address, downtown Scarborough. No delivery, will deliver ang sa Amante. Sa Peppers, often long wait for setting. And sa Amante, rarely wait for setting. Then, ang ilang similarities is serve pizza, unusual ingredients, and similar prices. So next example is, what do you call this one? Table or chart. So that is also an example when you compare and contrast. Although there are similar po sila sa Venn diagram kaya compare and contrast man. But then kini wala ka dito dyan, like half side bitaw. Yan. So that is it. So here are the guidelines in comparing and contrasting things. Kindly read Miss Pellegrino, the number 1.
So number 1, I'll begin your comparison. I'll begin with your comparison contrast with some sort of definitions, explanations, or descriptions of the items you are comparing and contrasting.
Okay. So, yes, very important pa dito nga atong gina-describe unsa na item ang atong gina-compare and contrast. In order for our readers or our teachers na mag-check, na masabtan kung unsay atong i-compare and contrast. So, the second one, Miss Apa, kindly read.
Consider both external and internal characteristics or properties of the objects consider their similarities and differences and in purpose or function. It is insufficient to base your comparison contrast only on the physical characteristics of the things because outer aspects of things do not always reflect their internal qualities. In some cases, while things are similar in looks, they are different in purpose, functions, and application, or vice versa. They are different in appearance but similar in looks.
Okay, Miss Cadenas. What will you first consider when you look at a thing or a person? Unsay mo ma-consider nga? Okay, kailangan ba gina-check nimo ang iyang internal ra or pati po ang external?
Actually, sa first bit na nakita ang dyan, ang gawas, ang physical, and then, kailangan sa mabot ang tayo na gawin ka ng gamit ng pagkaklos or yan, na dito na tayo yung makita ang internet sa internet. So, kung lagi din makita ang sa external.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Cadenas. No, yes, it is important to look the external and the internal factors of when you compare and contrast things or person. No? Dagan tayo gina-consider their experiences or their capabilities, abilities, di ba? So, mo na sadya ang dapat natong i-consider when contrasting and comparing. So, third, bring out the similarities and differences of things based on criteria, standards, or characteristics belonging or close to the topic comparison and contrast. So, whenever we compare and contrast, we must also consider the criteria or standards kung unsay kinahanglanon, di ba? Ikaw magpataka ra taong compare, contrast nga out of the criteria or standards na kay automatically marong naman dadyo, di ba? So, number 4, put their similarities and differences in an organized manner by using a particular comparison, contrast method. Yes, of course, we must organize it. Kaya kung hindi natin i-organize kung saan mahitabo, kalibog sa output. Diba? Kalibog na, maglibog na, kung saan may similarities o differences nga nagkauba naman noon ang differences o similarities. Diba? So that is all. Now for your evaluation, kindly get 1/2 sheet of paper. Then I want you to compare and contrast the two stories using a Venn diagram. So you only be given a 5 minutes to answer this story. So kailangan gadud sa guys ay kailangan sa nga naa sa nakasuot sa Venn diagram. So here is the two stories. So your timer starts now. Are you done, everyone?
Yes,
ma'am. So kindly pass your papers in front. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for your active participation. So for your assignment, I already posted a material in your LMS, so just check it out, guys. So read in advance the next lesson. So that is all for today. See you tomorrow, everyone. Bye, class.
Bye.